network security, virtual private networks, setting up an SSL VPN portal on a firewall. I am going to use a Cisco ASA 5505 firewall and show you how to enable an SSL VPN on it. It will be a full lab. It means we are going to start from scratch. There is absolutely no configuration on this firewall. All I did, I assigned an IP address, and I'll show you how easy it is to set it up and enable it on a pretty advanced and sophisticated ASA firewalls. To manage an ASA firewall, we use a piece of software that is called ASDM. ASDM, it is located on the firewall itself, and we have only a small application that will connect to this ASDM on the ASA. I assigned an IP address 10.7.7.1 and I am connected with a cable that is my inside interface. It doesn't really matter for now. The idea is to connect to it, enable SSL and see how it works. We go to configuration, and in here we have a few options. We are interested in remote access VPN. There are 2, maybe 3 things that we have to do to make it happen. First of all, we are interested in the clientless version of SSL VPN. We want to design a portal, right? That's what we want to do. We need 2 main things here, a group policy and a connection profile. We start with a group policy, which is pretty simple, and we're not going to modify a lot of options here. We'll name it Group Policy 1. When you go for more options, the most important thing is to lock it down to a protocol that we're going to use. You should notice that there are a lot of protocols available. It makes sense to enable the one that we're going to use. In our case, it is clientless SSL VPN. We don't need VPN client, L2TP, nothing else. As you can see, there are some options for our portal. We will tweak all these things later on. We apply and send it to the device. The next thing is more important, connection profile. Before we go there, that is like an additional step, we have to tell this firewall which interfaces are allowed to establish an SSL connection. I will enable it for both and will apply it. It is time to create our profile. We can ignore that message. We click Add, give it a name, Profile 1. The first question is, what about the authentication? We discussed there are 2 main solutions available, local, or we can have a dedicated server like a Radius server. In our case, we want to keep it simple. We'll use the local authentication. We don't really need DNS settings because it is a portal only. Group policy, it is the one that we created. We go to Advanced, and to get it started, we have to create a URL. Something that we will give to a user, or if let's say you're setting up for yourself, you will use that to connect to the ASA. We click Add, and in my case, I will use the inside IP address. In the real world, in most cases, you specify the outside IP address or the DNS name. For instance, I don't know, let's say it is microsoft.com/SSL or whatever URL you're interested in. You can have more than one, by the way, and then customize it, create groups, policies. It is very flexible. For now, we want to keep it simple. I will copy that because I will need that when I open Firefox. Let's go to Firefox and see if it works. That is a message saying that Firefox cannot verify the identity of the ASA, and of course it makes sense because the ASA generated its own certificate. I'm okay with that. I will confirm and move on. That's a good sign. We can see a username and password screen. I will log in as the admin. We'll show you how to create a local account. And we can log in. That's a good start. That's the SSL VPN portal, the main page that you will see or your users will see when they connect. What can you do from here? For instance, you can browse a website, an internal website, secure website. This is if you have a shared folder, or you can use FTP. There are some additional protocols that you could enable. Let's log out for now. That was simple, right? Let's create a user, because that's what we want to do. We go to Device Management. Here, if I manage to click, you will see that that's what is allowed on the ASA, and I am interested in this option, user accounts. I will create a new user account, add. I will call it test, password Cisco, and it's very important to go for this option. It means that this is a VPN user only. He's not allowed to manage my device, just to VPN and access whatever I allow this user to access. Let's go to Firefox again, log on and test it. It makes sense to test every single feature, especially if it's like your first VPN setup. Make sure that you're happy. On the ASA, you can go to Monitoring, VPN, and if you go for clientless, you will see this connection has been established. What you have to remember is that an ASA like that will have 2 SSL licenses only. It means that, oh yes, you have to pay some money if you want to add more, if you want to have more users and allow more connections. You have to pay Cisco, and believe me, it is not cheap, especially for an SSL portal. It can be really expensive. That is the main reason why Cisco, they have been pushing that in the last couple of years. Let's go back to the configuration. Now we are very happy we can connect, but there is absolutely nothing on this VPN. We can add a lot of options and features here. I want to show you how you can create a bookmark and customize this screen. Let's start with bookmarks. What is a bookmark? It's very similar to a bookmark, for instance, in Firefox or Internet Explorer. Here you will tell your users, oh, type this or that, and as you probably know, most of them will not memorize anything. We can create a bookmark. They can click on it and get to, for instance, a SharePoint website or a shared drive, whatever you have available in your network. You can give them access to their local PC. ASA supports plugins. You can add a small file on an ASA firewall, and thanks to that you can add new protocols. For instance, RDP, Remote Desktop Protocol, that allows you to connect to a PC remotely. A very popular solution for a user who works from home. We'll keep it simple for now, and we'll customize or create some bookmarks. We go to Remote Access VPNs, and almost all options are here under this portal option. We are interested in bookmarks. We'll create a new and call it bookmark 1. When we click add, it will specify a list of protocols and options that are available. I do not have any plugins, that's why, for instance, RDP VNC is not on the list. We could do that. Keep it simple. Bookmark title, test, and here you will specify this is a protocol that allows you to access shared folders and files. Let's say 10.7.7.2 X, a shared folder. You can get that from your infrastructure engineers, or of course if you're at home you should know what is the path for your local devices. Ooh, that already exists. Let's call it 1A. As you can see, I have played with these options already. Send. This bookmark is there, however it has not been applied to this connection profile group policy. We have to go there, and here in advanced it's not here, is it? Nah, it's under group policy. There are so many options that under the group policy we can add this bookmark. Here we go. Bookmark 1A. We click OK, apply, send. Sometimes it is enough to refresh the website, sometimes you have to log in and log off. Let's log out and test it. Test Cisco. This bookmark is there. If that is my local PC, because I specified a real IP address, not sure if X is a real folder, might not work, it doesn't matter, yeah. The idea is that you can see that in action, test, and it asks for a username and password. If I specify something that does not exist, it will tell you that straight away. Oops, I missed that. Let's refresh that. 8.8.3, something that does not exist. I will try and browse to it. It will complain that it cannot connect to that host. Because I specified something that was available, it will ask for a username and password. There are some issues with this protocol, and it's not a very reliable solution. In many cases you have to find some ways around to make it work. To be fair, that's not the most important feature. In most cases people VPN use this portal to access some, not files really, but PCs, and they use protocols like RDP, Remote Desktop Protocol, or VNC. Let's log out. I will show you how you can customize this screen. You can literally change everything here, including the logo, text, messages, everything. That is under customization. We click Add, create a new test. Customization 1. In here it is divided into two main sections, logon page and portal page. Logon page, of course, it is test SSL. It will show this page when you want to log in. You can put some additional information, copyright, some warnings saying that connect if you're authorized, and so on. The portal page is something that will be shown to your users or to you when you connect, when you are authenticated. Here it is, you can change the logo, that's what I showed you. You can change the colors. Let's just play with it, we'll show you. Let's change that size 150, bold. You can lock it down. For instance, you don't want your users to have access to all options. Let's say you want to give them access to web applications. That's where you can change. I'll show you that in a moment as well. You can change that in the connection profile as well. And group policy. We go to advanced. Customization is test. We click OK, apply, and in the group policy, I think it was under the group policy, yes, portal, here, you can lock it down. For instance, you will tell, well, I don't want them to use these three options. I don't want them to have access to ActiveX Relay. It's very, very flexible. URL entry? No, disable it. The best way is to play with it, try, click everywhere and see how it behaves. Let's log on. That's the name that we applied. Username was test, not Tesco. As you can see, there is no field to type the URL. We removed that. We removed a lot of options on the left hand side as well. I have set up a lot of SSL VPNs for third parties, for companies that were allowed to, for instance, connect to one server. It's very important to lock it down, and literally they could click on one link. Very similar to the screen that you can see now. There was only one link, one bookmark for them, allowing to connect to a server and nothing else. It's not complicated, even though that is a Cisco ASA firewall. ASA, it's pretty easy to manage it because thanks to this ASDM tool that is really reliable. Not sure if you know, but in Cisco, in most cases we use the CLI. We have to type all commands. However, as you can see, ASDM is a reliable tool and you can use that to manage your ASA. In most cases you don't have to use the CLI. It's good to know it. Sometimes ASDM can be confused. In our example, everything was okay and we were able to connect to this SSL portal. In this video, I showed you how to set up an SSL portal on a Cisco ASA firewall. Thank you very much.